Peah, Perek Chet, Mishnah Daled. Okay, we're in the middle of talking in the previous Mishnayot. We began in Mishnah Bet, where the Mishnah said that Einam ne'emanim al davar shebnei adam noagim bo. Let's go back to Mishnah Bet. That the aniyim, when they're trying to sell stuff, and we want to know, is it matnot aniyim, and therefore exempt from trumot u'maasrot, or not, and therefore they're trying to pass off things that are really chayav in trumot u'maasrot, they're only reliable for things that bnei adam noagim kim, that people give. So now this Mishnah is a continuation of that Mishnah and talks about what do people normally give for tzedakah. Says the Mishnah, ne'emanim ala yarak chai. Vegetables, everybody had a vegetable garden. So it's clear that most people, if you ever in the past, if you had any land at all, use it to grow vegetables because whatever you could buy, whatever you could avoid buying, you would avoid buying. So everybody had vegetables. Everybody had to give trumot and ma'asrot. So therefore, if he's trying to sell in the market kumquats or, potatoes or what have you, he's ne'eman if it's raw. Ve'einam ne'emanim ala bavusha. But he's trying to sell you cooked stuff, then he's not ne'eman to say that he got that from trumot and ma'asrot, because that's not how people used to give. If he's trying to sell like a huge vat that he made in a catering hall, then you say, really, no, come on. But if he only has a little bit and he's trying to sell that, then first of all, he must be really poor or hate potatoes or whatever. Or, since he only had a little bit, so how is it possible that that's matnot aniyim, that's tzedakah? Shekain derech balabayit liot motzi milfaso. Milfaso is actually a short on the word. I'll just write it here somewhere. Ilfas. You see this ilfas in Kedera. You see it in Shabbat. Okay. Milfaso is a shortening from his ilfas, and that's Kedera, his pot. Okay. Why? So the Mishnah says, we're going to go back. He's not ne'eman on cooked food. Ela im kein hayalo davar mu'at. Unless he has only a little bit to sell. Why? Because sometimes the poor person, the balabay, would feed him from his ilfas. So the simple understanding is the guy came and he's hungry, and the balabay gave him a little bit to eat. But that wouldn't be considered ma'aser ani. That's just zakah. Ma'aser ani is something that you have to be mafrish, you have to separate before. And the balabay, if he was mafrish, then he wouldn't, that he would leave that on the side and give it to the ani as raw. So how is it possible? So the Karati explains, sometimes what happened is the balabayit forgot to take off maaser. And then the ani comes and he's cooking. He's like, oh, I forgot. So he says, while it's cooking, he says, listen, take this. This is trumot. This is part of maaser. This is maaser ani, and it's exempt from trumot and maaser. Another explanation he gives is that sometimes when the balabait was, he took like 3 peppers from his garden, so he didn't want to take off trumot and maaser ani from that small amount. What's he going to do? He's going to take off a piece of pepper and leave it on the side? They didn't have refrigerators. It would go bad. So therefore he would cook it together. Okay, and then when the ani would come, essentially, he would find an ani to give it to, as cooked. And the ani was very happy to have something to eat. So therefore, that's what the Mishnah says, Shekain derech bal habayit, liot motzi milefaso. Sometimes the bal habayit intentionally would leave the ma'aser ani, which is not has kedusha, it's fine, leave it in his pot, and then make sure that he would give to the ani, the ma'aser ani, after it's already cooked. I want to dedicate this learning to the memory of my father. Let's go back down, Harav Simcha ben Yitzchak Kalman. And as always, if you have any comments or questions, rspolter@gmail.com. Have a great day.